Hi everyone. So, ArtOdontics, which is world's first ever art platform for the dentist by the dentist, is committed to get to you the most, what do you say, important, like, oh, hi, 1 minute. So, ArtOdontics is committed to getting you some master classes whereby you all can learn. And hey, hi Rohita. I was just telling them some things
Good
about
evening, ma'am. How are you doing?
orthodontics. Good evening. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, ma'am.
Thank you for being with us today, Rohita. So I was just telling our audience that orthodontics is committed to getting you live classes, live master classes, whereby they can, after watching you all do things, they can themselves do it without maybe joining any class also, if they have a knack for it. So, guys, today we have Dr. Rohita, who's our guest on orthodontics today, and she's going to help us out with demonstrating a masterclass on alcohol ink. She's an endodontist by profession and an abstract artist by passion. So, how did you get into the abstract art, Rohita? Tell us something.
Frankly, ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to be here and share some of my knowledge, what all I have acquired. So basically just started out like every other person during the pandemic when we didn't have anything else to do. We had to take a break from work. And of course, being a mother of a 3-year-old, I needed some space, some time for myself to keep my sanity in check. So,
Yes.
I just stumbled upon on the gram basically about fluid art. So then I did for some time, but that didn't actually challenge me much. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do something without having to uh, follow certain rules, something which I would just do it and make myself feel good about just doing the art itself. So that's how
That's
I just stumbled upon alcohol ink, and then I ventured into acrylics in an abstract format, and that's how I'm here.
great. So, let's get started.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Audiences would be eagerly waiting for the demo, I guess. So
Yes.
till the time Dr. Rohita is adjusting her camera and stuff, let me also tell you that orthodontics is now coming up with performing arts also. Up till now we were into visual arts, but now we are coming up to performing arts also, and people who are interested in singing and dancing can definitely message us. Hi,
Ma'am,
doctor.
do you think it's clear enough?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ma'am, just
Hi,
let
Dr.
me know when
Praj.
I should start.
Dr. Patkar. Hi, and you all have any questions regarding alcohol ink? What brand are we using, or rather Dr. Rohita is using, or about the technique, about the materials? Just you can put it in the comment box and we can answer the query at the end of it. After a while, I might be just turning off the commenting so that everyone can watch it properly. The
Yes,
demo they
ma'am.
can watch properly.
Ma'am, can I just give a small introduction about what I would be using so that people will have an idea about it?
Yes, please. Yes.
So basically, alcohol inks, they work on any non-porous surface. Now here I have got an acrylic white surface.
Hmm.
This is a black surface. And then this is a synthetic paper, not like a normal chart paper or handmade paper, because the other type of papers, they tend to absorb the ink. Now I'm going to
Okay.
use isopropyl alcohol along with these, the alcohol inks, which are dispersed in isopropyl alcohol. So
Okay.
basically all these inks, they are highly pigmented. Now this is a white colored. Now basically there are so many brands of it. This is another pigment, and we basically use 99 or 99.9% of isopropyl alcohol. So in India,
Okay.
there are two major companies which manufacture alcohol ink. One is Nara and the other one is Beyond Inks. Of course, there are so many other companies that have come up now. You can choose whatever feels comfortable or whatever is comfortable to you. So now basically the white ink, we use it on a black surface.
Okay.
Because if we try to use the highly pigmented ink on the black surface, it will not be seen because it's a dark surface.
Right.
So we have to kind of make it something like a pastel color, like we have to give it a base so that the other pigment shows up.
Right.
So there is another metallic color like this, gold or copper, which we get. So that is also pretty interesting to use on any of the surface. We can use it on the black surface, acrylics, ceramics, or the paper itself.
Okay. And they would be really nice to give a lining sort of a thing, right? The metallic ones especially.
Yes, ma'am. So exactly. So we use metallics to give that shimmer. For example, I will just show you one of my artwork. It's pretty old, something when I was just trying out. You can see this gold lining. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Beautiful.
metallic outline. So that basically comes with the movement of the hairdryer and the pool of ink. The way we manipulate it, it's totally based on that. So it totally changes the way the light reflects on it. Now, if I just move it a bit more upwards, when the light is not exactly falling on it, it looks a bit more darker. But
Right.
actually, when the light exactly falls on it, it looks much more shimmery and brighter. It's all about the play of light over the inks, the way we display it, finally. So,
Right.
and the second component is this hairdryer. It is just a basic 1000-watt hairdryer, which we can get on Amazon. We need not, initially when we try to start out, we need not, buy a lot of expensive gadgets or hairdryer, for example.
Not to invest too much, you mean?
Yes, ma'am. Like most of us would be having a hairdryer, but what we suggest is starting with 550 watts or maximum up to 1000 watts is enough. Because
Right.
the higher the wattage, what happens is it becomes very heavy to handle. Now we'll be moving the pool of ink with this. So if it is too heavy, then it turns to, hurt the arms and the shoulder joint, and that will not be comfortable at all at any point of time.
Right. Right.
And this is so easily accessible on Amazon or any of the sites, so it's not a problem at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
So
I hope everyone has got it, like what are we going to do and the materials and the methods basically. Now you are getting to do it. So do we have to make any rough sketch or something before we do it?
no, I mean, most of the experienced or senior artists, they prefer to have an idea in their mind before they do it. But
Okay.
when you start with it, I don't think we should have a defined picture, because then we tend to get a little disappointed because they are a little difficult to manage and manipulate, because
Right.
we have to literally manage a pool of ink over a paper or an acrylic surface or ceramic for that matter. So if we tend to have a predetermined design, like someone has done it, and you want to do something similar to it, because we can never have it exactly the same way like we have done it before or someone else has done it.
Right.
So in that case, we tend to get discouraged. What I would say is you just go along with the flow of the ink, and slowly over a period of time, you know how to do it. If you want to do a particular design or whatever it is, a particular abstraction.
Right. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So I will just start with it. So usually what I try to do is I just use a few drops of the isopropyl alcohol. And then I pour my ink over it. Here I just use one or just 2 drops, because these are
There's no
highly
priming.
pigmented.
There's no priming to this, right?
No, absolutely not needed. For doing it on paper and all that, we definitely do need to do it, or acrylic surface for that matter. So I just.
So can we do this on those Brushstroke acrylic papers that we get, on which we do acrylic work?
No, they are watercolor papers, ma'am.
Okay.
They are watercolor papers. We cannot use it. I mean,
No,
we
the
can use
acrylic
it.
papers. The acrylic papers.
Brushstroke has, I think, synthetic papers for alcohol ink. Yes, we can use it because they have recently, I think, launched it like some time back.
Lovely. It's already taking a beautiful shape.
Yeah. So now what I'll do is, I'll just show you how to use some other color. So what
How
the
long does
beauty,
it take to dry?
as long as, technically 24 hours, and then we have to varnish it. But now it's already dry. But of course, we cannot touch it because it is not fixed.
Huh.
The color comes onto our hands. So
Okay.
what I'll do is, I'm going to reactivate this part. I'm not going to use more ink. I'm just going to reactivate it and work
So
upon it
what you
again.
poured right now, Dr. Rohita, was an
Sorry?
activator. The
No,
thing
that
is
is
that,
the, yes, that is isopropyl alcohol.
okay, okay.
99, yeah, whatever you get, 99 or 99.9, it doesn't matter. But
Mm-hmm.
higher the better, I feel.
Right.
And then, you know,
You have a very non-noisy hair dryer, I must say.
I was wondering whether you are getting disturbed by that or not.
Not at all, not at all.
Oh, then I'm very glad. Then I can speak while I'm doing
Yes, you
this.
can.
So,
Yes, you should. So that we know
yeah,
what you are
because,
doing.
yeah. So I'm just moving the pool of ink the way I want it to. And then that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Hmm.
So now you can see this. I don't know if you can actually see this
We
bubbles
can.
here.
We can.
Yes. Now that is because of the humid environment here. So that's a little difficult to control. So we'll have to be careful, or not be careful, rather not worry about it if it is too humid out where you're working.
So Dr.
So that
Rohita
is the
has
only,
joined us from Hyderabad, guys. Maybe
yes, ma'am. It's not as humid as Mumbai, but it is raining since a couple of days.
right. The retreating
But
rain.
yeah, but ma'am, it doesn't matter, because then the kind of art you do, like with alcohol ink, you can go for a different technique. You can just
Hmm.
move the ink on this paper and let it dry on its own. We need not always use this. For example, now as
Hmm.
dentists, we know what this is. We are very familiar with this.
Yes.
Yes,
The chip
actually a
blower.
lot of, yes, the chip blower. Actually, a lot of AI artists, that is the alcohol ink artists, they are quite comfortable using this. But somehow, I find it's a lot of work, keep on pumping the air with this. Rather just use this and get the thing done faster. But it
Right.
depends how you feel comfortable, how the person who
We
is
are
doing it feels.
better off using chip blowers in the
Yeah,
extracted teeth.
yeah. Yeah. So that's how it is. I'll just show
Huh.
you the,
Are there
back.
other colors available? Because see, maximum Dr.
So,
Rohita I have seen that there is alcohol ink is in purple only most of the times, purple or magenta. Are there other colors available as well, like green and yellow?
yes, so many, ma'am. I think the total number of shades are some 20, 32 or something, or like exact
Oh,
number of
is
which
it?
company I don't know. In fact, Copic, that is an international brand, it has like hundreds of it, I think so. I don't
Oh,
know,
is
like
it?
maybe
Okay.
300 or something. I don't know the exact number, because sometimes when I want to buy something from Copic, I'm confused. I take almost 2 days to decide which ink I want to buy, because they're so beautiful. You want to buy everything.
And
I mean,
can
these
you
are
mix
just,
the colors like we do in
yeah,
watercolor and stuff?
yes, exactly. I will show you that now. So what I'll do
Yeah.
is, I will just add a few drops of isopropyl, this IPA, the short form we call it as, so that, it's easy to, move around. Just add one drop of it. And then I'm just going to swirl it around a little bit.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
a beautiful cerulean blue.
yes, it all depends upon us, how we want it, what we want to put. There is no given set of rules. It just,
What I like the beauty of fluid art or this alcohol ink art is you yourself don't know how it is going to turn out
yeah,
finally.
exactly.
Because then you cannot have a
Yes.
fixed idea about it.
Yes, and the best part is no two works will be similar. And sometimes it becomes a little difficult because the client might want you to make something similar to a previous work which you have done. And I struggle to make it like that. It's impossible because they said, oh my goodness, it looks so good. Like, for example, the current work I'm working on, the client wanted something similar to I had done earlier for someone else. So I said, I will try to work with these colors, but it will not come out like this because at that point of time, like how we work with it, abstraction works like that, abstract art. It just with your emotion, like for that particular person or the client, how they wanted it, you try to simulate that. It
True.
may not always work.
And it also
So
depends on your thoughts and your mentality at that
exactly,
moment.
exactly. So it just almost impossible rather.
Yeah.
So I'll just try to correct this part because I didn't like this one. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not.
I like the way those lines have come up. They're looking like
Yes,
very beautiful waves.
yes.
Hi, Dr. Preeti. So soon we are going to have one more session with Dr. Preeti as well.
Okay, so this is one of the compositions you can do. So the only thing what I would suggest is to
Mm-hmm.
work with it faster, not wait for the pool of ink to work with the colors too much too long so that you get a, this kind of a not a well-defined thing. But then,
Mm-hmm.
it all works fine. I mean, at the end of the day. Then,
Yeah.
so this is, you can add a little bit of the purple because it became too light here. Just get a little bit of, yeah. So, actually, best part is you don't need a lot of ink. I mean, unless you're doing a huge work or something, a few drops will go a
How
long way.
how expensive does it turn out to be?
Expensive?
Yeah.
One bottle of ink, it varies between 169 to 175.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it is a little expensive when compared to our usual watercolors and all, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's not bad. Yeah, and then isopropyl alcohol also we have to purchase in the hair dryer, but it depends. Yeah, it depends how much we use. Now, in this case, if I use too much of this ink, I'm wasting it rather. We don't need so much of it.
Right.
You just
Right.
drop of it because what happens is we tend to waste a lot. It comes over the tissue.
Right.
Yeah, you can observe. So just use it a bit, and then yes, of course, in general, when compared to other media, I would call it a little expensive because we do have to get a respirator and all that. We cannot
Mm-hmm.
work with this if someone is pregnant or around small kids,
Is
and
it
not less than
so?
15 years
Oh.
of age. Yeah, man. Because it has
Ah.
isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%.
Right.
The medium is
Right.
dispersed in there. The pigments are dispersed in it. So we cannot have kids around it. We have to work in a well ventilated place. Now I cannot use a respirator because it will become difficult to hear and talk with that. But otherwise, with the respirator and gloves on, we have to work. And of course, in a well ventilated place because you don't
Mm.
want the vapors to linger on in the room. The
Right.
issue.
Right. Right.
So let me show you what we can do. See, as you had asked, are there different colors? So I use
Right.
black and orange and pink. You can do whatever. So, and one more surface that I forgot to mention about is canvas. Canvas
Uh-huh.
also we can do. So canvas,
So do you need to, because canvas doesn't absorb stuff, right? So
yes,
absorb the water and everything. So do
yes,
you need to prime that for it, like make
yes.
it?
Yes, definitely. That is the only disadvantage with canvas. Now for canvas, we have to get a prime canvas and again prime it a couple of times more so that the inks are not absorbed much. For
So,
example, this is a very
uh, do
like
you varnish? Do you varnish the canvas before
varnish
doing
is more,
anything so that it is smoothened out?
uh, no, we prime it. that is what varnishing is after we finish working with the alcohol ink. Now this is still not varnish because these are just like a trial out samples which I keep on working out, trying out
Okay.
different colors and all that, the palette and all that. But then afterwards we have to varnish it with a spray varnish, not the usual liquid and brush. Because what happens is, suppose this is a brush, we try to touch, apply the liquid varnish, it will meddle with the inks.
Right.
So this doesn't really help doing any varnishing.
So when you
On that.
spray the varnish,
Hmm.
does the paper warp?
Does the paper warp?
Warp?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
It doesn't, because
Okay.
it comes in like, we have like very thin papers and up to 430 microns. I mean, like really thick paper. This is 330. So it doesn't warp at all.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no grade of paper, which is like this one. This one which I did, it is a very thin grade of paper. But this also, but initially what I would suggest is, when you're just starting out with alcohol ink, it might be a little difficult to control inks on a thinner grade of paper, because the inks get absorbed faster and then we tend to get a little annoyed and all that. So
Right.
initially a little thicker paper would help. And of course, if you want to ship and all that, I would always suggest a thicker grade of paper,
Okay.
so that
And
they don't get damaged.
where do you buy the maximum, your materials from? Any
Ma'am, there are
particular?
two Indian companies, that is Nara Synthetic Papers and Beyond Inks. So
I think, Preeti?
I think, yeah,
Preeti, you have any questions to ask?
I think this has happened by mistake.
Okay, okay. Fine.
How do I?
So, no problem. We are just having the alcohol ink demo. So, we are going to soon have a demo with you as well later on. If you have any questions, you let me know. Otherwise, maybe you can leave the studio.
All right.
Okay, dear. Bye-bye, Preeti. Yeah. So sorry, Rohita.
That's okay. That is no problem at all. So basically, there are two Indian companies that I buy from. One is Beyond Inks and one is Nara Synthetic Papers. So like one is based in Hyderabad, Beyond Inks. One is based in Mumbai, Nara. So
Nara.
they ship it. They ship it within India. Nara ships it internationally. Beyond Inks also does it. I'm not sure, but you can get it in touch with them. They have their Instagram handles, and you can do that. It's not a problem. Or we have a lot of the online shopping places which provide inks.
Okay.
That is also possible.
So how do you put the metallic ink now? At the end, if you want to put the metallic shimmer, how do you go ahead with that?
Yes, I will show it on this one. So this is an acrylic tile, a coaster. So a lot of people do resin art on acrylic surface, or after alcohol ink also, suppose you want to make a coaster, people pour resin so that it's much more durable.
Is
because
right.
If you want to use it as a coaster, alcohol ink art, just varnishing it wouldn't suffice.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have to kind of put resin over it.
So it also has to take the what do you say, the weight of the cup also, cup or a glass.
That is okay. That the acrylic will easily take in. But the only issue is it might not last long, because the inks might get disturbed because of different things.
Okay. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, now these metallic inks, they're made of metallic pigments.
Right.
So it has to be, we have to shake it well, so that all the, the ink is, we get a good one.
So metallic, you have golden, silver, everything in metallic as well?
Yes, the three basic ones are gold, silver, rich gold, and copper.
Okay.
So yeah. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a little bit of the isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm just going to move it around.
So if you don't use a hair dryer and you just maneuver the tile, even then it will get dispersed, right?
Yeah, that is also fine. Just that it will take a bit longer time to get dry.
Huh.
That is
Right.
fine, ma'am. But, we have to wait according to the atmospheric thing and all that. So it's okay. We just have to wait for a longer period of time, which is no issues at all.
But still, this is much, much faster because, I mean, as compared to a painting that you do, because you're not fine detailing anything in it.
Yes.
But yet it looks very artistic. I love the waves basically which are formed in the lighter
Yes.
part of the entire tile.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I mean, now the only issue is because it's pretty humid out here, we are not getting very fine lines on the acrylic surface. But
Uh-huh.
otherwise, it would have been more um, dominant and much more clearer. So,
But still it is looking beautiful. Hi Shweta. So now this is about abstract art, Dr. Rohita. Can
yes,
we do some more organized art also? Like if you want to do a beach thing or something, like can you
yes,
do a trial for that as well?
beach
Not you.
thing.
I mean, I'm asking in
Yeah,
general. It's possible.
yes. Actually, people have done like more of portraits or something like that. It's a little difficult, but then we have to be more careful about the movement of ink. So we'll have to use a brush and then slowly apply it and all that. Yes, it will not be
Okay.
as fine as a watercolor or oil
Hmm.
oil paint, but yes, we can do it. So we just keep on
Okay.
moving and doing it. That's it. So so same thing goes with this also. The black acrylic surface, we just use the inks with white ink as a base so that
Uh-huh.
the pigment is more enhanced and more seen. Yes, and we can use the gold as well. So that's how it is.
Yeah. A gold on a black will look beautiful, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So instead of being bold and beautiful, it will be gold and beautiful.
Yeah, so
Oh,
this
this
is
is
one more
very
technique.
pretty.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were asking about yellow and some greens, no? So I just basically used only blue and yellow and green. Of course, it turns out to have green also.
But
So
you
yes,
know,
we can do that.
the beauty of abstract art is you, according to your own mindset or your own thinking,
Yes,
you can kind of figure out what, like, if you show me at a glance, I would say this is a moon behind the two trees, maybe, and the water down there shimmering out there.
yes.
That,
For example, yes, ma'am. For example, I just show you this was just a practice, kind of a sample thing I just did so that I
uh-huh.
understand how the 1 minute ink behave in this color. I don't know if you
Uh, but Rohita, maybe it has to go down a bit. We can't
yeah,
appreciate the whole thing at a glance.
yes. I think this
Ha,
is better.
yes. Oh,
So
very pretty. Oh,
it
this
has the
is
gold pigment. So
beautiful.
this is the so I was actually this is a trial piece for one of the clients. So she wanted something like a teal with a pista green and light blue, kind of a combination with a tinge of gold. So the thing is we don't get this same specific color of similar to her decor. So I had to play around a few with a few inks to get
Mm-hmm.
what how it will look like, because I usually don't work with such light colors. I'm much more of a brighter and bolder color palette.
Ha.
But then we can do whatever we want. It just up to. So basically, the goal, if we, put it up in a place where the light falls on it at a right angle, we can
Hmm.
appreciate
No,
the
it's
shimmer of
looking beautiful. As if on a leaf from behind you have put some light. It's looking like that.
it. Yes, yeah. So I think yeah. So this is the beauty of using the metallic. So it kind of gives a two-dimensional effect because when the light is not falling on it, it looks like this. But when the light falls on it, it has a shimmer of its own. And of course,
Right.
this I have not varnished it because I just wanted to play around with it. But
Uh-huh.
so this is just a rough abstract. So we can get these fine lines. It just depends on how we move the pool of ink with the hair dryer. And
Right.
of course, it should not be too humid. Then it doesn't really come out so well. So this
So,
is
one more thing I just wanted to know, like
Yes,
if it is not humid, say you are doing it during the summer season, okay?
yes, hmm,
So it just dries in a jiffy, is it?
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And can we have layers on it like we other paintings, all paintings we do layer by layer? Can we
No,
have
we
layers
can.
in this?
Yes, I mean, like I haven't tried oils with this, but I do mix up a little bit of acrylic with this, not exactly over it, but
Uh-huh.
probably we can do an acrylic first as the base, and then probably a little area. Maybe, we can try out this. So,
Okay. So it will become like a mixed media sort of thing,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. So basically, maybe over like a texture medium, you can use a little bit of this alcohol ink, not exactly, so because anyways, when we are going to prime a canvas, it's like an acrylic medium, no, the gesso
Uh-huh.
or whatever. So it's not literally acrylic, but yeah, so it's not that it's totally contraindicated, but I don't know how oils would work with alcohol inks. I've not tried that.
So hi, Dr. Ankita. Ankita is asking you which brand of alcohol inks do you recommend for beginners?
Anyone which we get in India, all are fine. The only issue with the international ones are they're a little expensive, like around I think 400 rupees
So
for
for
one
beginners,
bottle.
you suggest that they try the Indian ink. Once they get the hang, maybe
Yeah,
they can go
exactly.
ahead.
Absolutely, ma'am. I would definitely suggest that because initially we tend to waste a lot of ink. It just gets wasted, it gets leaked and all that. So might as well just play with the ink because the Indian brands are phenomenal. I mean, the two brands that I use, they're phenomenal. I actually haven't used much of the international brands because I'm already in love with the Indian brands. So it really works well. The only problem is probably in internationally, it might be more easier to procure the international brands because the Indian brands will
Uh,
take some time to
Dr.
use.
Rohita, can you come? Can you come
Yeah, sure.
on the camera?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. So yeah, and it would be much easier for me to talk to you this way. And so you prefer the Indian brand.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
That's really nice. And what is it behind you? I can see some painting behind. Is that
That is
alcohol ink
acrylic.
as well?
No, that is an acrylic artwork.
Okay, okay. So it was a lovely session, very, very informative. And I'm sure even I am going to try one of that. Thank you so much, Dr. Rohita, for joining in. And I wish you all the best for all the endeavors ahead. And I must tell you all guys that Dr. Rohita is into many kind of arts, and now finally she has probably
Yes.
converged into doing alcohol ink. And you all must visit www.artodontics.com, the website where her more artworks are displayed. So they are for sale as well. You all can support the cause. We are working with the underprivileged. So if you buy that, the proceedings are forwarded to the charity for underprivileged.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much,
ma'am,
Dr.
for
Rohita.
having this, for giving us a opportunity because, of course, every dentist is an artist. When we have to work with composites or border molding or anything or extraction for that matter, the way we hold the scalpel and give the incisions. So, so thank you so much for making providing a platform for us dentists because we need to do something else apart from dentistry so that we get back to it with a bit more, much more zeal and much more enthusiasm. We need
True.
to break free from these two different things. You cannot do just one thing continuously to get back to it.
Absolutely. And I feel like, whenever I talk to all the dentists, I always feel that, it is vice versa. Being dentist gives you a edge
Yeah.
into being an artist also because we know how to manage the instruments. And maybe when you do artistry, that somewhere helps us in our dental work as well. Because your hand is getting refined, getting honed.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you so much, Dr. Rohita, once again. And I'm sure we'll get back to you. We'll have a few more sessions. Stay tuned, guys. We are going to have such interesting sessions all over again. maybe next weekend, maybe thereafter also. And if you all have any suggestions that what we should do, we should be doing, or any other form of art that you would like to see, do let us know in our message box, comment box. We will definitely get back to you with that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Rohita, once again.
Bye-bye.
All the love.